जय श्री श्री गुरु गौरांगंधार गिरिधारी श्री श्री राधा विनोद बिहारी जू की जय। श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मरन मोहन जू की जय। नित्यानंद प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अष्टोत्तर शत शिशुमार भक्ति वेदांत नारायण गोसाई महाराज श्री गुरुदेव की जय। नित्यानंद प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अष्टोत्तर शत शिशुमार भक्ति वेदांत वामन गोसाई महाराज की जय। नित्यानंद प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अष्टोत्तर शत शिशुमार श्री भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी महाराज श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। नित्यालिल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अष्टोत्तर शत शिशुमार भक्ति प्रज्ञान केशव गोसाई महाराज की जय। नित्यालिल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अष्टोत्तर शत शिशुमार भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोसाई प्रभुपाद की जय। नित्यालिल प्रविष्ट महाभागवत श्री गोरक्षरस बाबूजी महाराज की जय। नित्यालिल प्रविष्ट श्री सच्चिदानंद भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जय। नित्यालिल प्रविष्ट वैष्णव सार्वभौम श्री जगन्नाथ दास बाबूजी महाराज की जय। श्री रूपानुगुर्य गुरु वर्ग की जय। श्री रूप सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल भट्टदास रघुनाथ शारद गोसाई प्रभु की जय। श्री स्वरूप दामोदर राय रामानंदा जी श्री गौर पार्षद वृंद की जय। नाम अक्षय श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासरी गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री क्षेत्र मंडल गौर मंडल ब्रज मंडल मथुर वृंदावन धाम की जय। सर्व अभिष्ट प्रदात गिरिराज महाराज की जय। श्री राधा कुंद श्याम कुंद की जय। श्री यमुना देवी गंगा देवी की जय। श्री तुलसी महारानी वृंद देवी की जय। श्री भक्ति देवी की जय। श्री पूर्णमासी योग माया की जय। श्री गोपेश्वर महादेव की जय। श्री हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। श्री निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि। हरे कृष्णा Shubhananda Prabhu, and Hari Prabhu, Bhavatarani Mataji, and Raseshwari Mataji, Hari Bol. All right, so let's begin the Mangala Charan. Ajnanatirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Guruve Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tad Bhaktaya Namo Namaha. Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Avatirno Sakarunyo Parichinno Sarishvaro Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Dvau Bhrataro Bhaje. Namastri Kala Satyaya Jagannatha Sutaya Cha Sabhrityaya Saputraya Sakalatraya Te Namaha. Jai Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Lakshmi Kanta Jai Jai Nityananda Vallabha Ekanta Jai Jai Vaikunta Ishwarnyasi Raj Jai Jai Jaya Bhakata Samaj Jai Jai Patita Pavana Gora Chandra Dana Deha Hridaye Tomar Pada Dvandva Shesha Khanda Katha Bhai Shuno Ek Chite Nīlācale Gora Chandra Aila Jemate Tavai Vasmi Na Jivami Tvaya Vina Iti Vigyaya Devi Tvang Nayamang Charanantikam Bhaktya Vihina Aparada Lakshai Kshiptastakama Ditaranga Madhe Kripa Mai Tvam Sharanam Prapanna Vrinde Namaste Charanarvindam Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Śrī Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Ore mura lokshuno Chaitanya Mangal, Chaitanya Mahima Jate Jani Beshakal, Krishna Lila Bhagavate Kohe Ved Vyas, Chaitanya Lilar Vyas Vrindavana Das, Vrindavana Das Koilo Chaitanya Mangal, Jahara Shravane Nashi Sarvaya Mangal, चैतन्य निताय जाते जानिए महिमा जाते जाने कृष्ण भक्ति सिद्धांतेर सीमा भागवते जत भक्ति सिद्धांतेर सार लिखियाছেন ইহা জানি করিয়া উদ্ধার চৈতন্য মঙ্গল শুনে যদি পাষাণ্ডে জবান সেহ মহাবৈষ্ণব হয় ততক্ষণ মানুষের রচিতে নারে ऐच्छे গ্রন্থ ধন্য বৃন্দাবন দাস মুখে ভক্তা শ্রী চৈতন্য বৃন্দাবন দাস পরে কোটি নমস্কার ऐच्छे গ্রন্থ করিতে হো তারিলা সংসার নারায়ণী চৈতন্যের উচ্ছিষ্ট ভাজন তাঁর গর্ভে জন্মিলা সে দাস বৃন্দাবন তাঁর কি অদ্ভুত চৈতন্য চরিত বর্ণন যাহার শ্রবণে সুধা কইল ত্রিভুবন সহজে বিচিত্র মধুর চৈতন্য বিহার বৃন্দাবন দাস মুখে অমৃতে ধার বৃন্দাবন দাস মুখে অমৃতে ধার. By nature, all the activities of Śrī Caitanya-bhāgavata are very wonderful and sweet. And when they are described by Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur, they become like a shower of nectar. Jai Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur ki jai, Jai Śrī Caitanya-bhāgavata ki jai. The Gaudiya Bhashya of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki jai. Jai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Gaur. Hare Krishna, everybody. Dandavat pranams. One second. I'm gonna just open up the window here because I'm starting. Last night in the middle of the night there was a huge storm at like 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, and we had to get up and close all the windows, and yeah, because dust was blowing everywhere and all that, and then somehow mosquitoes got into my mosquito net during that time, and I had a difficult time falling back asleep. So I like got up and I started reading in the middle of the night. So now I'm kind of, yeah, feeling a bit tired. If I start like slurring my words or anything, I'll start walking though. So don't worry. Wake me up a bit. Having some light. Okay. So we're continuing on with our reading. We're on the second to the last chapter of Śrī Caitanya-bhāgavata, chapter 9 of Antya-khaṇḍa. Let's see. I think we only have like 6 more days worth of reading left. And when is Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur's appearance day? Let's look. I mean, it's disappearance day. It is in, 9 days from now. Actually, let me just share this in the group. I have a TT countdown group if anybody wants to join. Oops. Dang it. There. Yeah. Oops. Second. Sorry. I should have done this before. Yeah, I'm gonna put it in our TT countdown group. If I don't do it now, I'll forget to do it. I always forget to do it. Boom. Okay. Thanks for being patient with me. So, in the previous chapter that we read in Caitanya-bhāgavata, chapter 8, I'm just going to read the short summary. In this chapter, the author introduces and glorifies various devotees while describing the devotees' arrival in Nīlācala from Bengal just before the Rath Yatra. He also describes Śrī Advaita Acharya and other devotees' arrival in Nīlācala with their wives, sons, servants, and maidservants. Mahaprabhu is going to Attaranala to receive Śrī Advaita Acharya. Balaram, Krishna, and Govinda's arrival at the lake called Narendra Sarovar for the Chandan Yatra ceremony. The Lord's watching the Chandan Yatra festival along with the devotees from Bengal. The Lord's performance of water sports in Narendra Sarovar. The Lord's taking darshan of Lord Jagannath. Mahaprabhu's pastime of setting the example of serving Tulsi. Śrī Advaita Acharya's glorification of Mahaprabhu's associates and their unique position and the transcendental position of the Vaishnavas. I'm going to read I'm going to read a little bit from this. Yeah. Okay, so let's just read the in-depth summary. Why not? Okay, so when the time for Lord Jagannath's Rath Yatra festival came closer, the devotees from Bengal left for Nīlācala to see the Rath Yatra festival under the order of Sriman Mahaprabhu. Pandit Shivas, Sri Chandrasekhar, Pandit Gadadhar Das, Pundarik Vidyanidhi, Pandit Vikeshwar, Prajumna Brahmachari, Thakur Haridas, Vasudev Datta Thakur, Shrimakunda Datta Thakur, Shivananda Sen, Govindananda, the scribe Vijay Das, Sada Shiva Pandit, Purushottam Sanjay, Nandanacharya, Shuklambar Brahmachari, Sridhar, Bhagavan Pandit, Gopinath Pandit, Sri Garbha Pandit, Vanamali Pandit, Jagadish and Hiranya Pandit, Buddhimanta Khan, Acharya Purandar, Murari Gupta, Gurura Pandit, Gopinath Singha, Sri Ram Pandit, Narayan Pandit, Pandit Dāmodara, who had gone to see Mother Śacī, and Śrī Advaita Prabhu. They all took various eatables that were dear to the Lord and journeyed with their wives, sons, servants, maidservants, and relatives to Nīlācala, while chanting the holy names of Krishna along the way. At Kamalpur, the devotees saw the flag on the top of the Jagannath temple and offered their respectful obeisances. Mahaprabhu could understand that the devotees from Bengal headed by Śrī Advaita were coming. So he had sent Jagannath Mahaprasad all the way to Cuttack to welcome them. And he personally led the devotees of Nīlācala to Attaranala to greet the Gaudiya Vaishnavas. As the devotees of Bengal headed by Śrī Advaita and the devotees of Nīlācala headed by Śrī Gaurasundar met each other at Attaranala, their great ecstasy swelled and overflowed like the confluence of the Ganga and the ocean. Then, keeping Sriman Mahaprabhu in front, the Gaudiya Vaishnavas went to the banks of Narendra Sarovar while performing Sankirtan and dancing in ecstasy. Since by the arrangement of Providence, the Chandan Yatra, or boat festival of Sri Ram Krishna Govinda, fell on that day, the devotees from Bengal and the devotees from Nīlācala, they together performed a huge kirtan. On seeing the boat festival of Sri Ram Krishna Govinda, Mahaprabhu jumped into the water of Narendra Sarovar with the devotees and performed various water sports. Although all kinds of people, such as materialists, sannyasis, and brahmacharis, engaged in swimming in the waters of Narendra Lake during the boat festival of Sri Ram Krishna Govinda, by the influence of Śrī Caitanya's illusory energy, they could not come anywhere near Śrī Caitanya or his devotees. Śrī Caitanya's mercy is obtainable only by unmotivated service attitude. It is not possible to associate with Śrī Caitanya and his devotees or see their pastimes through education, wealth, or austerities. Not understanding the transcendental glories of chanting the holy name of Hari, the proud Mayavadi sannyasis fall down by regularly blaspheming Śrī Caitanya Dev for failing to study Vedanta. practice pranayam, or execute duties befitting a sannyasi. Although some exalted sannyasis glorify Śrī Caitanya-deva as a Mahajan, some consider him a learned scholar, and some consider him a great devotee. So even though they consider him a learned scholar or a great devotee, they're unable to understand the actual identity of Śrī Caitanya. Since Śrī Gaurasundar, who is none different from the son of the king of Braj, and his devotees, who are none different from Krishna's associates of Braj, since they all engaged in water sports in Narendra Sarovar, the waters of Narendra became as fortunate as the rivers Yamuna and the Ganga. After completing their water sports in Narendra Sarovar, Sriman Mahaprabhu, along with his devotees, went to the Jagannath temple to see Lord Jagannath. On seeing both moving and stationary Jagannath together, Mahaprabhu is the moving Jagannath and then the stationary Jagannath, Achal and Sachal Jagannath. So on seeing both moving and stationary Jagannath together, the devotees offered repeated obeisances to them. Kashi Mishra greeted all the devotees with the remnants of Lord Jagannath's garland. The Lord, enacting the pastime of an instructing spiritual master, displayed the pastime of accepting the remnants of Jagannath's garland. Sriman Mahaprabhu alone knows the glories of serving the Vaishnavas, Tulsi, the Ganga, and Mahaprasad. Mahaprabhu therefore taught the Vaishnavas the principles of devotional service by exhibiting the pastime of offering obeisances to the swan-like Vaishnavas. The renounced order of life is the topmost among the ashrams. If the son of a person takes sannyas, then even the formerly respectable father of that son must offer his son respects. In the same way, Mahaprabhu, the all-respectable Supreme Lord, engaged in pastimes as a sannyasi. And so even that Mahaprabhu, he used to display the pastime of offering respects to the Vaishnavas in order to reveal the supremacy of the swan-like Vaishnavas. Mahaprabhu's pastimes of worshipping Tulsi were unique. The Lord would fill a small pot with choice dirt and place Tulsi in it. And he'd plant Tulsi in it. Then whenever the Lord would walk on the street chanting the name of Hari, someone would walk with that potted Tulsi in front of the Lord. Oh, so that's a tradition. You see lots of times on Navadvip Parikrama, you'll see different groups of devotees, they'll carry a Tulsi plant on their head. That was Mahaprabhu's practice, that he would follow Tulsi Devi. Thus, the Lord would chant the holy name while seeing and following Tulsi. Whenever Mahaprabhu would sit down and chant, he would place Tulsi by his side so that he could see her while chanting the holy name. Sriman Mahaprabhu declared that he would not live without seeing Tulsi, as a fish cannot live without water. Only those who, rather than imitate, sincerely follow Shiksha Guru Narayan's teachings under the guidance of the spiritual master and the Vaishnavas are delivered from the hands of inauspiciousness. After taking darshan of Lord Jagannath, Śrī Mahaprabhu, I'm actually just in the middle of reading, where did I put it? This book here. This is a book by Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Gosai Maharaj. It's Shri Nam Tulsi Ganga Mahatma. And I just started, like I'm not even halfway through it yet, but it goes through all the different places in Caitanya-bhāgavata and Chaitanya Charitamrita to do with Mahaprabhu's honoring Tulsi Devi, all compiled together. That's where I read up to so far, but there's a lot more on Tulsi I haven't gotten to yet. Yeah. I think I'm going to read it with the villagers in the evening time every day. Okay.
Is it Bengali? Is it
Yes.
in Bangla?
Yes, Bengali. Yeah. It's called Shri Nam Tulsi Ganga Mahatma. Yeah, it'd be nice if that book was done in English. It's very simple Bengali also. It's like very easy to read. Be a nice book to have, huh? Okay. Only those who, rather than imitate, sincerely follow Shiksha Guru Narayan's teachings under the guidance of the spiritual master and the Vaishnavas, only they are delivered from the hands of inauspiciousness. After taking darshan of Lord Jagannath, Śrī Mahāprabhu returned to his residence with the devotees. The Lord, who is like a desire tree for the devotees, would satisfy the devotees according to their respective desires. Mahāprabhu always kept the devotees with him, showing them affection as one would his own son. And the devotees also constantly remained absorbed in the bliss of service in the blissful service of the Lord. The devotees from Bengal and Nīlācala lived together and engaged in Krishna Kirtan without consideration of caste or place of birth. By the mercy of Śrī Caitanya-dev, everyone received an opportunity to see the Vaishnavas from Shvetadvip. Śrī Advaita Acharya repeatedly said with his own mouth that only by the mercy of Śrī Caitanya did he also have the opportunity to see those exalted Vaishnavas, whom even the demigods are unable to see. The Vaishnavas are actually the Supreme Lord's eternal associates who accompany the Lord when he descends in this world. Just as Lord Vasudeva appears with Pradyumna, Aniruddha, and Sankarshan, and as Lord Ramachandra appears with Lakshman, Bharat, and Shatrughna, similarly, these Vaishnavas appear by the order of Mahaprabhu to assist the Lord in his pastimes. Therefore, the birth and pastimes enjoyed by Vaishnavas are not the fruits of their karma. By the Lord's will, the Vaishnavas appear in this world to assist the Lord in his pastimes. And by the Lord's will, they disappear from this world as well. All right, so that was a summary of the previous chapter. I just thought it'd be nice to go through that so that we get the flow. And now we are beginning chapter 9, the glories of Advaita. One second, my feet are getting bit by mosquitoes. I'm just going to put on mosquito. Okay. I'm going to skip the chapter summary now and we will read it tomorrow. Yeah. Okay. Oh, wait. And what's the glories of Advaita, chapter 9, Antya-khaṇḍa. Jai Jai Śrī Krishna Caitanya Ramakanta Jai Sarva Vaishnaver Vallabha Ekanta. All glories to Śrī Krishna Caitanya, the husband of the goddess of fortune. All glories to the only beloved Lord of all glories to the only beloved Lord of all Vaishnavas. Gaudiya Bhashya. Śrī Krishna Caitanya-dev is Krishna, the fountainhead of all incarnations. Therefore, he is the origin of Viṣṇu, the husband of Lakshmi. That is why he is also addressed as Ramakanta. Śrī Krishna Caitanya is Krishna Chandra, the worshipable Lord of all the devotees in the rasas of Shanta, Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya, and Madhur. Conjugal love. Haribol Gopal Ghanasham Prabhu and Ananta Om, and who else? And Sarveshwari Mataji, Rasapriya Didi, and Amit Tandekar, Haribol, and a bunch of other devotees. But if you write a comment, I'll see who you are. Oh, Banksiwala Prabhu, Haribol. Jai Jai Kripamoy Shri Vaikunta Nath Jiva Prati Koro Prabhu Shubha Drishtipat. All glories to the merciful Lord of Vaikunta. O Lord, please glance mercifully on the living entities. Heno mate bhakta goshti ishvarer shange thakila paramanande sankirtana range. In this way, all the devotees remained with the Lord, enjoying the ecstasy of Sankirtan. Jai drave prabhur prita purve shishu kale shakal janin taha Vaishnava mandale. All the Vaishnavas knew what foodstuffs the Lord liked in his childhood. She sab dravya shabe prem jukta hoya aniyache jato shab prabhur lagiya. Therefore, they all lovingly brought those items for offering to the Lord. She shab dravya prite koriya randhan Ishvarere Asya Koren Nimantran. The devotees would affectionately cook those items and invite the Lord to accept their offering. Je dine je bhakta grihe hoy ni Je dine je bhakta grihe hoy nimantran tahai paramaprite koren bhojan. Whenever the Lord was invited to the residence of a devotee, he would eat there with great satisfaction, with great affection. Shri Lakshmir Angsha Jata Vaishnava Grihini Ki Vichitra Randan Koren Nahi Jani. All the wives of the Vaishnavas were expansions of Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune. Therefore, their cooking was so wonderful, I cannot describe it. Oops. Gaudiya Bhashya. The wives of Vaishnavas are expansions of Sri Lakshmi. Although the jiva servants and maidservants of the Supreme Lord are separated expansions of the Lord's energy, they are actually transformations of the marginal energy and are therefore expansions of Shakti. When the living entities lack knowledge of their constitutional position, they become illusioned about their actual identity. But the wives of the Vaishnavas always remain engaged in the service of Hari on the liberated platform, rather than forgetting their actual identity. Niravadi sabar nayane prem dhar, Krishna name paripurna vadana sabar. Their eyes were always filled with tears of love, and their mouths were always filled with the holy name of Krishna. Purve Ishvarer Priti Jesha Vyanjane Navadvipe Shri Vaishnavi Sabe Taha Jane. Those Vaishnavis knew what vegetable preparations the Lord liked when he was previously in Navadvip. Prem Joge She Mata Koren Randan Prabhu O Parama Preme Koren Bhojan. Therefore, they cooked those preparations with love, and the Lord also ate all their offerings with great love. Ekadin Shri Advaita Singha Mahamati Prabhure Bolila Aji Bikha Koro Iti. One day, the magnanimous lion-like Advaita Acharya requested the Lord, "Please take your lunch at my house today." Mushteka Tandul Prabhu Randhivo Apan Hastamor Dhanya Ho Tomar Bakhane. Please take your lunch at my house today. I cook only a handful of rice. Please accept it so that my hands will become glorious. Prabhu bole, Jai Jan Tomar Anna Khai, Krishna Bhakti, Krishna Shei Pai Sarvathai. The Lord replied, "Whoever eats your rice certainly attains Krishna and his devotional service." Acharya Tomar Anna Amar Jivan, Tumi Khawaile Koi Krishner Bhojan. O Acharya, your rice is my life. Krishna certainly eats whatever you cook. Tumi je naivedya koro koriya randan, magiao khaite amar thatiman. When you prepare an offering for Krishna, I am ready to even beg for the remnants. Shuniya Prabhur Bhakta Vatsalata Vani Ki Anande Advaita Bhashe Nahi Jani. Who can understand the ecstasy Advaita felt when he heard such affectionate words from the Lord? Parama Santoshe Tabe Vasai Aila Prabhur Bikar Saja Korite Lagila. In great satisfaction, Advaita then returned home and made arrangements for the Lord's meal. Lakshmi Angshe Janma Advaiter Pativrata Lagila Korite Karja Hoy Harashita. Advaita's chaste wife, who is an expansion of Lakshmi, began to joyfully prepare for cooking. Prabhur pritir dravya skoda desha hoite, jata aniachen shab lagilen bite. She gave Advaita those items that were dear to the Lord that she had brought from Bengal. Randhane boshila Śrī Advaita Mahāshaya, Chaitanya Chandrere kori hridaye bijay. Śrī Advaita Mahāshaya then meditated on Lord Chaitanya as he sat down and began cooking. Pativrata vyanjaner paripati kore, jatek prakar kore jeno chitte spure. His chaste wife made preparations for cooking different vegetables according to the inspiration that manifested in her heart. Shake ishvarer boro priti iha jani, nana shak dilen prakar dasha ani. She knew the Lord was very fond of shak, so she gave Advaita 10 varieties of shak she had brought. Acharya Randen pati vrata karja kore, tui jana bhashe jeno ananda sagare. Advaita Acharya cooked, and his chaste wife assisted. In this way, they both floated in an ocean of happiness. Advaita bolen shuno Krishna daser mata, tomare kohije ami eka mana katha. Advaita said, "O mother of Krishnadas, listen, let me tell you what I'm thinking." And it's very common, actually even today in Bengali culture. But yeah, the husband, the wife is never mentioned by name, and the husband's never mentioned by name. They never mention each other by their name, and very often the mother's known by the name of her child. I know even in Keshavji Gaudiya Math, there's one older Mataji who is there from very beginning, like maybe, I don't think during Param Gurude's time, but maybe shortly thereafter. And she's been coming to the Math and serving in the Math in so many ways every day for forever. She's very old. Her name is Gopalerma. I don't think anybody knows what her actual name is. And I've been going to Keshavji Gaudiya Math for a long time. I've never seen Gopal. I don't know who Gopal is, but we all know Gopalerma, Gopal's mother. So that's very common. So Advaita Acharya would refer to his wife as Krishna Dasar Mata. Okay, so Jata kichu e mora korilu sambhar, kon rupe prabhu sab koren shvikar. Oh, mother of Krishnadas, listen, let me tell you what I'm thinking. I don't know how, but I want the Lord to relish everything that we have cooked. Everything. Jadi asiben sanyasir goshti loya, kichu na kaibo tabe jani ami iha. If he comes along with the other sannyasis, I am certain he will not eat very much. Apekito joto joto mahanta sannyasi, shabe prabhur shange bikha koren asi. Generally, all the sannyasis accompany the Lord every day to take their meals. Shabe prabhure koren parama apekha, prabhu shange shab ashi prite koren bikha. They all have great respect for the Lord, so out of affection, they take their meals with him. Advaita chinten mane heno pakka hoy, ekeshwar prabhu asi koren vijay. Advaita thought, how nice are all these preparations? If only the Lord would come alone. Tabe ami ihasha pari khawaite, ekamana mor siddha hoy kono mate. If only the Lord would come alone, then I could make him eat all these preparations. But how can I fulfill this desire of mine? Yeah, because Mahaprabhu's not going to eat all those things in front of all those sannyasis. E mata mane chinte Advaita acharya randhan koren mane bhavi she karja. Advaita acharya continued to think in this way as he cooked. Ishvar o koriya sankhya namer grahan madhyanadi kriya kori bare hoilo man. Meanwhile, the Lord completed the chanting of his fixed number of holy names and prepared to perform his noon duties. Gaudiya Bhashya. The word Sankyanam refers to chanting the holy names of the Lord a certain number of times, as opposed to chanting the holy names without counting. The word Grahan refers to chanting. Oh, sorry, Prabhu. I missed your message on Anta Om. I didn't have the chat open. I'm just seeing it now. Can I explain a bit about the wives, how the wives of Vaishnavas are expansions of Lakshmi? Okay, I don't have like a great answer for this, but they're expansions of Lakshmi. It doesn't mean that they're literally Lakshmi Devi. But they have the like Lakshmi Devi, she is the ultimate topmost ideal example of a devoted, like, how she serves Narayan and how she, to the top, like serves in the topmost excellent way, cooking, massaging his feet, serving in all different ways. And so the Vaishnavis, the wives of these Vaishnavas, they were also like Lakshmi Devi, empowered by Lakshmi to serve like that, serve in such an ideal way. That's how I understand it. But it doesn't mean that they're literally Lakshmi Devi expansions. They were like empowered by Lakshmi Devi, I think, more like that. They are like Lakshmi Devi and how wonderful they serve. That's how I understand it, at least. Jai Shab Sannyasi Prabhu Shange Bikha Kore Tara Saba Cholila Madhyana Kori Bare. The sannyasis who generally took their meal with the sannyasis who generally took their meal with the Lord also went to perform their noon duties. I think Srila Prabhupada also would say something like that, right? That these, yeah, anyways. So yeah, the sannyasis. So meanwhile, the Lord completed his chanting of this fixed number of holy names and prepared to perform his noon duties. The sannyasis who generally took their meal with the Lord, they also went to perform their noon duties. Heno kale mahajara vrishti achambite arambhila devaraj advaite rhite. At that time, however, Indra, the king of the demigods, suddenly sent an intense shower of rain and strong winds for the satisfaction of Advaita. Shila Brishti Chaturdike Baje Janjana Asambhav Vatas Brishtir Nahi Sima. Hailstones began to fall everywhere. The winds blew fiercely, and it rains without limit. Sarvadik andakar hoilo dhulai bashai jaite keho pata nahi pai. All the directions became so darkened with dust, so darkened with dust in the air that the sannyasis could not find the way to their residences. Heno jhara bahe keho stir hoite nare keho nahi jane kotha loya jai kore. The wind was so forceful that no one could stand still, and no one could understand what direction they were going. Shabe jatha Śrī Advaita koren randhan tata matra hoy alpa jhara barishan. The area where Śrī Advaita was cooking, however, had only a little rain and wind. Oh, and Ananta Omji, I mean, everybody's Shakti Tattva to some degree, right? All the Vaishnavas are Shakti Tattva. Jatanyasi bhikha kore Prabhu sanghati nahiko uddeshe karo keba gela koti. The sannyasis who generally took their meals with the Lord got lost. and no one knew where they went. Eta Śrī Advaita Singha Koriya Randhan, Upas Kori Tuilen Śrī Anna Vyanjan. Meanwhile, the lion-like Advaita finished cooking and cleaned the spot where he placed the rice and vegetable preparations. Grita Dadhi Dugda Sar Navani Pishtaka Nanabida Sarkara Sandesh Kadalaka. He also set out ghee, yogurt, milk, cream, butter, pishtaka, that's a sweet preparation made with rice, varieties of sweets, sandesh, and bananas. Pishtaka. Really? Pishtaka. I'm just curious. Pishtaka, is it like pushpa anna? Pishtaka. Says a cake made of rice meal. Pudding, baked cake. Sorry, I just want to see this on, I want to see pictures of it just to get an idea. I always like to know what I'm reading. Let's look at Pishtaka. Images. Okay, so I think it's like different kinds of pita. Pishtaka. A pratam pishtak. Notun. Yeah. Yeah, I think pishtak refers to like pita. Okay. So he also set out ghee, yogurt, milk, cream, butter, pishtaka, varieties of sweets, sandesh, and bananas. Sabar upare diya tulasi manjari, dhyane boshilen ani bare gora hari. After putting a tulsi manjari on each preparation, Advaita sat down and meditated on bringing Gaur Hari there. Ekeshwar, so he meditated on Mahāprabhu, bringing Mahāprabhu there. Ekeshwar Prabhu ai sen jeno mate, e mata mane dhyan koren Advaita. Advaita meditated in such a way that the Lord would come alone. Satya Gora Chandra Advaiter Ichamoy, Ekeshwar Mahāprabhu Korila Bijoy. In fact, by the desire of Advaita, Śrī Gaurachandra did come to his house alone. Hare Krishna, boli prem sukhe, pratyakha hoila asi Advaita samukhe. The Lord was chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra in ecstatic love as he came before Advaita. Sambhrame Advaita Pada Parme Namaskari, Asan Dilen Boshilen Gaur Hari. Advaita offered respectful obeisances at the Lord's lotus feet, and then he offered a seat on which Gaur Hari sat. Bhinna Shanga Keho Nahi, Ishwar Keval, Dekhiya Advaita Hoila Anande Vival. Seeing that no one had come with the Lord, Advaita became overwhelmed with ecstasy. Harishe koren patni sahite sevan, pada prakhaliya den chandan vyajan. Along with his wife, Advaita happily washed the Lord's feet, offered him sandalwood pulp, and fanned him. Hare Krishna Vidyalala Sadidi. Boshilen Gora Chandra Ananda Bhojane, Advaita Koren Paribeshan Apane. Gaurachandra then happily sat down to eat, and Advaita began to serve him. Jatek Vyanjana den Advaita Harishe, Prabhu o Koren Parigraha Prem Rase. The Lord accepted with love whatever vegetable preparation was joyfully offered to him by Advaita. Jateka Vyanjan Prabhu Bhojan Koren Shakaler kichu kichu abasya eden. The Lord would leave a small portion of each vegetable the Lord would leave a small portion of each vegetable preparation uneaten. Gaudiya Bhasha. The word eden means saved as remnants or left behind. Eden. Advaitere Gora Chandra bolen hasiya kene edi vyanjan jano ho tumi iha. Gora Chandra then smiled and said to Advaita, "Do you know why I'm leaving these remnants? Jateka vyanjana khai chahi jani bar ataiva kichu kichu edi e savar." So do you know why I'm leaving these remnants? Gaurachandra said to Advaita. I left a portion of each preparation behind because I want to see what preparations I've eaten. I don't want to forget what I've eaten. I want to see what I've eaten. Hasya bolen Prabhu shunoho acharya kotai shikila eta randhaner karja. The Lord smiled as he asked, "Listen, Acharya, where have you learned to cook all these preparations?" Amito emoto kabu nahi khai shak shakali bichitra jata koriacho paka. Of course, the Lord would first comment on the shak. I have never before eaten such shak. Whatever you have cooked is wonderful. Jata den Śrī Advaita Prabhu Shab khai Bhakta Vancha Kalpataru Śrī Gauranga Rai. The Lord ate whatever Advaita offered, for Lord Gauranga is like a desire tree, fulfilling all the desires of his devotees. Tadi dugdha ghrita sar sandesh apar jata den Prabhu Shab koren swavikar sai. The Lord accepted the yogurt, milk, ghee, cream, sandesh, and whatever else was given by Advaita. Bhojan koren Śrī Caitanya-bhāgavata Advaita singher kori purna manaskam. In this way, the Supreme Lord Śrī Caitanya took his meal and satisfied the desires of the lion-like Advaita. Paripurna hoilo jadi Prabhur bhojan Takhone Advaita kore indrer stavan. As the Lord was finishing his meal, Advaita began offering prayers to Indra. Aji Indra jani lo tomar anubhav, Aji jani laya tumi nishchoy Vaishnav. So as the Lord was finishing his meal, Advaita began offering prayers to Indra. He said, "Oh Indra, today I have come to know your prowess. Today I have come to know that you are certainly a Vaishnav." Gaudiya Bhasha. The word anubhav means influence or glories. Aji hoite tomare dibaya pushpa jal, Aji Indra tumi more kinila keval. From today, Indra, I will offer you water and flowers, for today you have certainly purchased me. Prabhu bole Aji je Indrer boro stuti, ki hetu iha koho dekhi mor prati. The Lord inquired, "Why are you offering nice prayers to Indra today? Please tell me." Advaita bolen tumi koroho bhojan, ki karja tomar iha koriya shravan. Advaita replied, "You just eat. There's no need for you to hear about this." Prabhu bole arkene lukao acharya, jata jhara vrishti shab tomari shekarja. The Lord said, "O Acharya, why are you trying to hide the truth? The rain and winds that came were all your doing." Jarer shamoy nahe tabe akasmat mahajhar mahavrishti mahashilapat. This is not the season for strong winds. Yet strong winds, intense rain, and a great hailstorm suddenly appeared. Tumi icha koriya she eshav utpat koraiya achotaha bhujilo shakshat. I have understood without doubt that all this utpat, all these disturbances were arranged by your will. Jailagi indrer dwara koraila iha, taha kohi e ami vidita koriya. I will now explain why you had Indra do all this. Sanyashir shange ami korile bhojan, kichuna kaibo ami e tomar man. You thought that if I came with the sannyasis, I would not eat very much. Ekeshwar aile she amare shakal, khawaiya nija icha koriba shafal. But if I came alone, you could fulfill your desire by feeding me everything you cooked. Ataev e shakal utpat srijiya nishedhile nyasigan mane agya diya. Therefore, you created all these disturbances to stop the other sannyasis from coming. Indra agya kori e tomar kon shakti, bhagya she indrer je tomare kore bhakti. The fact that Indra carried out your order does not demonstrate your actual potency. It was his good fortune that he got an opportunity to serve you. Krishna na korenjar sankalpa anya. Sorry. One second. Okay. Krishna na korenjar sankalpa anyatha. Je korite pare Krishna shakshat sarvatha. Even Lord Krishna does not refuse your respect. Does not refuse your request. You are able to make him appear anywhere. Krishna Chandra jar vakya koren palan, ki adbhuta tare e jhara varishan. Is arranging for some wind and rain wonderful for one whose words are respected by Krishna Chandra himself? Jam kala mritu jar agya shire dhare, jar pada vanshe jogeshwar munishware, je toma smarane sarva bhanda vimochan, ki vichitra tare e jhara varishan. Is arranging some wind and rain wonderful for one whose order Yamaraj, time and death carry on their head, whose lotus feet are desired by the best of the yogis and munis, and by remembering whom one is freed from all bondage? Toma jane heno jan ke ache sangsare, tumi kripa korile she bhakti phal dhore. Who in this world knows you perfectly? Only by your mercy can one get the fruit of devotional service. Advaita bolen tumi shevak vatsal, kai mano vakya ami dhori e bolo. No, bol. Sorry. Okay. Advaita said, you are very affectionate to your servants. I derive strength because I have accepted this fact with my body, mind, and words. Sarvakal Singha Ami Tor Bhakti Bole, Evar More Na Chadiba Kon Kale. May I always remain as powerful as a lion by the strength of devotional service to you. Please give me the benediction that you will never abandon me. E mata dui prabhu bako vakya rase bhojan sampurna hoilo ananda visheshe. In this way, the two Prabhus relished their discussion as the Lord happily finished his meal. Advaiter Shri Mukher e Shakal Kata, Satya 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 Ithe Nahi Ko Anyatha. The statements coming from Advaita's lotus mouth are all certainly true. There is no other possibility. Shunite e Shab Kata Jar Pritanoy. She Adham Advaiter Adrisha Nishchoy. Anyone who does not relish hearing this narration is the lowest of men and will certainly be bereft of Advaita's merciful glance. Gaudiya Bhashya. Since Śrī Advaita Prabhu desired to become happy by feeding Śrī Mahāprabhu alone, Indra, the king of the demigods, created a natural calamity to stop the other sannyasis from coming. As a result, Mahāprabhu came alone and Advaita Prabhu felt satisfaction by feeding him. This topic was revealed by Śrī Advaita Prabhu to his servants. But some people who do not accept Advaita Prabhu as an unalloyed servant of Mahaprabhu do not approve of such factual incidents. Rather, they consider Sri Gaurasundar subordinate to Sri Advaita, and thus endeavor to modify the service attitude of Advaita Prabhu. Although such ignorant materialistic people identify themselves as followers of Advaita, they are not to be seen. In other words, if one happens to see the face of such a person, one would have to purify himself from that bad association by taking bath in the Ganga. Hari Shankarer Jeno Prita Satya Katha Abhuda Prakrita Jane Na Bhuje Sarvatha. The bond of love between Hari and Shankar is factual, yet it cannot be understood by ignorant materialistic persons. Eker aprite hoy, donhar aprita, Hari Hare Jeno Tena Caitanya-bhāgavata. If someone displeases either of them, they will both be displeased. This same relationship between Hari and Shankar was manifested between Lord Chaitanya and Advaita. I'm going to stand up now, starting to feel it coming, sleepiness. Okay. Niravadi Advaita Eshab Kata Koi Jagater Trana Lagi Kripalu Hriday. The kind-hearted Advaita Prabhu always described these topics for the deliverance of the world. Oh, Advaiter Bhakya Bhuji Var Shakti Jar Jani Ho Ishwar Shange Bhed Nahi Tar. One who is able to understand Advaita's statements knows that there is no difference between him and the Supreme Lord. Gaudiya Bhashya. As stated, Advaitam Harinadvaitad Acharyam Bhakti Sangshanat Bhaktavataram Isham Tam Advaitacharyam Ashraye. Because he is non-different from Hari, the Supreme Lord, he is called Advaita. And because he propagates the cult of devotion, he is called Acharya. He is the Lord and the incarnation of the Lord's devotee. Therefore, I take shelter of him. That's Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi, first chapter, verse 13. Bhakti kori jeshunai eshab akyan, Krishna bhakti hoitar sarvatra kalyan. Anyone who hears these pastimes with devotion will achieve that most auspicious devotional service of the Lord Krishna. Advaita singher kori purnamanaskam Vashai cholila Śrī Caitanya-bhāgavata. Sorry, I just kicked the water. After fulfilling the desire of the lion-like Advaita, Lord Chaitanya returned to his residence. After fulfilling the desire of the lion-like Advaita, Lord Chaitanya returned to his residence. E Mother Śacī bhaktagan ghare, bikha kori shabare, purnakam kore. In this way, the Lord accepted meals at the house of Śrīvas and other devotees, and thereby fulfilled their desires. Sarva goshti loy niravadi sankirtan, nachayen apane anukhan. The Lord would gather all his devotees and constantly engage in sankirtan. He would continually dance and induce others to dance. Dāmodara Paṇḍita aire dekhi vare, Nīlācala ai dekhi aila satvare. After going to Navadip to see Mother Śacī, Dāmodara Paṇḍita quickly returns to Nīlācala. Dāmodara dekhi Prabhu aniya nibrite, air vritanta lagi len jigyasite. When the Lord saw Dāmodara, he took him to a secluded place and inquired from him about Mother Śacī. Prabhu bole tumi je achila tan khache, satya koho air ki Viṣṇu bhakti ache. The Lord asked Dāmodara, he said, You stayed with my mother. Now tell me the truth. Does she have devotion to Lord Viṣṇu? Parama tapasvi nirapekha Dāmodara Shuni krodhe lagilen korite uttar. On hearing this question, Dāmodara Paṇḍita, who was very austere and impartial, became angry. He became angry and replied, Ki bolila goshai, air bhakti ache, iha o jigyasa prabhu tumi kon kaje. O Lord, what did you say? Are you asking whether your mother has any devotion? Air prasade she tomar Viṣṇu bhakti, jata kichu tomar shakal tar shakti. It is by your mother's mercy that you have devotion for Viṣṇu. Whatever you have is by her potency. Jate ka tomar Viṣṇu bhaktir uday, air prasade shab jani ho nishchoy. Know for certain that whatever devotion for Viṣṇu you have is by her mercy. Ashru kampa sver murcha pulaka hunkar, jate ka achaya Viṣṇu bhaktir vikar. Khane ke air dehe nahi ko biram, nirabadi shivadane spure Krishna nam. Transformations of love for Viṣṇu, like crying, shivering, perspiring, fainting, standing of hairs on end, and loud roaring, are constantly visible on the body of Mother Śacī, and she is always chanting the holy name of Krishna. Air bhaktir kata jigyasa goshai, Viṣṇu bhakti jare bole, she dekho ai. O Lord, you have asked about the devotion of Mother Śacī? It is Mother Śacī who is addressed as devotional service. It is Mother Śacī who is addressed as devotional service to Viṣṇu. She's like Viṣṇu Bhakti personified. Murti mati bhakti ai kohilo tomare, janiya o maya kori jigyasa amare. I tell you, she is Murti mati bhakti. She is the embodiment of devotional service to Viṣṇu. Although you know this, you ask me as if you do not know. You ask me as if you did not know. Prakrit shabde o jeba bolike ai, shabda prabhave tahar dukhanai. Okay. If even someone who considers the word I an ordinary word utters this word, by the influence of that sound, he is freed from all distress. Dāmodara mukhe shune air mahima, Gaura Chandra Prabhur Anandir Nahi Sima. And hearing the glories of Mother Śacī from the mouth of Dāmodara Paṇḍita, the happiness of Gaura Chandra increased without limit. Gaudiya Bhashya. When the Lord asked Dāmodara Paṇḍita how much devotion to Krishna his mother had after being separated from her son, Dāmodara Paṇḍita glorified the devotional activities of Śacī Devi. When Mahāprabhu heard this, he became extremely joyful. Dāmodara Paṇḍitere dhori prem rase, puna puna alingan koren santoshe. Absorbed in the mellows of ecstatic love, the Lord repeatedly embraced Dāmodara Paṇḍita with satisfaction. Aji Dāmodara tumi amare kinila, maner britanta jata amare kohila. And Mahāprabhu said, "Oh Dāmodara, today you have purchased me, for you have confirmed what was in my heart. Jata kichu Viṣṇu bhakti sampati amar, air prasadeshab vidha nahi tar." Whatever asset of devotion to Viṣṇu I have in my mother, whatever asset of devotion to Viṣṇu I have is by my mother's mercy. There is no doubt about it. Tahan ichai ami acho pritivite, tan rin ami kabhu nari vo shudhite. I am living in this world by her will. Therefore, I will never be able to repay her. Aistane baddhayami shuno Dāmodara, Aire dekhite ami achi nirantar. O Damodar, please listen. I'm always bound by her affection, and I always see her. Dāmodara Paṇḍitere Prabhu Kripa Kori Bhakta Goshti Shange Boshi Elen Gaur Hari. After blessing Dāmodara Pandit in this way, Gaur Hari sat down with his devotees. Air je bhakti ache jigyase ishvare she kevala shiksha korayena jagatere. The Lord's inquiry about Mother Śacī's devotion was only to teach the people of this world. Gaudiya Bhashya. It is to be understood that Mahāprabhu's pastime of inquiring from Damodar about Śacī Devi's devotion to Krishna was meant for teaching people. This pastime was manifested to reveal how affectionately the Lord's servants serve him and how the Lord becomes controlled by their love. Bandhaver varta jeno jigyase bandhave koho bandhu shab ki kushale ache shave. A person sometimes inquires from his friends, please tell me, are our friends doing well? Kushal shabder artha vyakta kori bare bhakti ache kori varta loyen shabare. But the Lord revealed the actual meaning of the word kushal, are well, by inquiring whether a person had devotion. Gaudiya Bhashya. In the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam 4:22-14, Prithu Maharaj speaks the following words. Bhavatsu kushala prashna atmarameshu nishyate kushala kushala yatra na santi mativrittaya. My dear sirs, there is no need to ask about your good or bad fortune because you are always absorbed in spiritual bliss. The mental concoction of the auspicious and inauspicious does not exist in you. In his Bhagavat Tatparya commentary on Śrīmad Bhāgavatam 1:14-34, Madhvacharya quotes the Naradiya Purana as follows. Atyuttamanam kushala prashnoloka sukhechaya nityadapta sukhatvatu na tesham yujate kvachit. Exalted personalities inquire about people's well-being to make them happy. Otherwise, they are not too concerned about the happiness of their own people. In his Bhagavat Tatparya commentary on Śrīmad Bhāgavatam 2:126, Madhvacharya quotes the Padma Puran as follows. This is commentary 2:126. Okay. Lokanam sukhakartritvam apeksha kushalam vibho prichyate satata nandat katham tasyeva prichyate. Inquiries about people's well-being are made to make people happy. That is why they are always done joyfully and in relationship to the Lord. In the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam 10:23-26, it is stated, Nanvadha mai kurvanti kushala swartha darshinaha. Darshina. Ahaitukya. One second, let me just fix that. Ahaitukya avyavahitam bhaktim atma priyayata. Certainly, expert personalities who can see their own true interests render unmotivated and uninterrupted devotional service directly unto me, for I am most dear to the soul. In the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam 5:18-12, it is stated, Yasyasti bhaktir bhagavata kinchana savar gunastatra samasate sura harava bhaktasya kuto maharguna mano ratena satidhavato vahi. It's a beautiful verse. One second, I'm just plugging in my computer again. And one who has unflinching devotional faith in Krishna. All the good qualities of Krishna and the demigods are constantly manifested. However, one who has no devotion to the Supreme Personality of Godhead has no good qualifications because he's engaged by mental concoction and material existence, which is the external feature of the Lord. Bhakti yoga thake tabe shakal kushal. Bhakti bina raja hoile oma amangal. If someone has devotion, then everything is well. But without devotion, even the position of a king is inauspicious. Gaudiya Bhashya. Among all types of auspiciousness, the presence of devotional service to the Lord in one's heart is the topmost. Even kings adorned with various signs of worldly auspiciousness cannot attain auspiciousness like that of the devotees. Worldly supremacy is most insignificant in comparison to devotional service to the Lord. In the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam 12.12.55, it is stated, Avismriti Krishna Padara Vindayo Kshinote Bhadrani Chashantanoti Satvasya Shuddhim Paramatma Bhaktim Jnanam Chavijnana Viraga Yuktam. Remembrance of Lord Krishna's lotus feet destroys everything inauspicious and awards the greatest good fortune. It purifies the heart and bestows devotion for the Supreme Soul, along with knowledge enriched with realization and renunciation. In the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam 12.3.15, it is stated, Yas tuttama shloka gunanuvadha sangiyate bhikshnam amangalaghna tam eva nityang shunuyad abhikshnam Krishne malam bhaktim abhisamana. The person who desires pure devotional service to Lord Krishna should hear the narrations of Lord Uttama Shloka's various qualities, the constant chanting of which destroys everything inauspicious. The devotee should engage in such listening in regular daily assemblies, and should also continue his hearing throughout the day. In the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam 10.83.3, Lord Krishna's relatives speak as follows. Kuto shivam tvach charanam puja savam mahan manasto mukanisritam pachit pibanti je karna putar alam prabho teham pritam teha krit asmriti chidam. O Master, how can misfortune arise for those who have even once freely drunk the nectar coming from your lotus feet? This intoxicating liquor pours into the drinking cups of their ears, having flowed from the minds of great devotees through their mouths. It destroys the embodied soul's forgetfulness of the creator of their bodily existence. In the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam 3.30.31, it is stated, Eka prapadyate dvantam hitvedam swakalevaram kushale tarapateyo bhuttadrohena yadpritam. He goes alone to the darkest regions of hell after quitting the present body, and the money he acquired by envying other living entities is the passage money with which he leaves this world. In the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam 10.73.10, it is stated, Rajaishwarya madonnadho nashrayo vindate nripa tvanmaya mohito nitya manyate sampado chala. Infatuated with his opulence and ruling power, a king loses all self-restraint and cannot obtain his true welfare. Thus, bewildered by your illusory energy, he imagines his temporary assets to be permanent. Also see Śrīmad Bhāgavatam 10.7, verses 11 to 23. Sorry, let's get the flow again. I always like to do that with long translation. So, a person sometimes inquires from his friends, please tell me, are our friends doing well? But the Lord reveals the actual meaning of the words kushal, or well, by inquiring whether a person had devotion. Bhakti yoga thake tabe shakala kushal, bhakti bina raja hoile o amangal. Oh, sorry, we already read this one. If someone has devotion, then everything is well. But without devotion, even the position of a king is inauspicious. Sorry, we just read that. I didn't need to read it. Okay. Dhana jasha bhoga jar achaya shakal, bhakti jar nai tar shab amanga. If one has wealth, fame, material enjoyment, but is bereft of devotion, then everything is inauspicious. Tar shab amanga. Gaudiya Bhashya. Coveted objects like wealth, fame, and material enjoyment make one forget Krishna. As a result, misfortune and inauspiciousness arise. Only devotional service is the reservoir of all auspiciousness. In the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam 3.5.2, Vidura speaks the following words. Sukhaya karmani karoti loko natai sukham vanyar uparamam va vindeta bhuyas tata eva dukham yad atra yuktam bhagavan vadena. O great sage, everyone in this world engages in fruitive activities to attain happiness, but one finds neither satiation nor the mitigation of distress. On the contrary, one is only aggravated by such activities. Please, therefore, give us directions on how one should live for real happiness. In the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam 3.7.41, it is stated, Sarve Vedascha Yagyascha Tapodhanani Chanaga Jiva Bhaya Pradhanasya Na Kurviran Kalam Api. O spotless one, your answers to all these questions will grant immunity from all material miseries. Such charity is greater than all Vedic charities, sacrifices, penances, etc. Also see Śrīmad Bhāgavatam 3.9 verses 7 to 19, 10.51 verses 45 to 57, and 3.9 verses 9 to 13. In the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam 5.19.14, it is stated, Yatai hikamush, sorry, how do you say that? Yatai hikamush mika kamalam pata suteshu dareshu dhaneshu chintayan shanketa vidvan kukale varatyayad yastasya yatna shrama eva kevalam. Materialists are generally very attached to their present bodily comforts and to the bodily comforts they expect in the future. Therefore, they are always absorbed in thoughts of their wives, children, and wealth, and are afraid of giving up their bodies, which are full of stool and urine. If a person engaged in Krishna consciousness, however, is also afraid of giving up his body, what is the use of his having labored to study the Shastras? It was simply a waste of time. It's a nice verse. Just a waste of time. Antya-khaṇḍa nahi jar daridrer anta Viṣṇu bhakti thakile shedan dhanavanta shedan dhanavanta no shed dhanavanta. And if one is so poor that he has no food for a day, but he has devotion to Lord Viṣṇu, then he is the richest person. Gaudiya Bhashya. If even a poor person unable to accumulate food is inclined to the service of the Lord, then no one can be as rich as him, because his Lord is the proprietor of all opulences. In the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam 1.8.27, it is stated, Namo kinchana vittaya nivritta guna vrittaye atma ramaya shantaya kaivalya pataye namaha. My obeisances are unto you, who are the property of the materially impoverished. You have nothing to do with the actions and reactions of the material modes of nature. You are self-satisfied, and therefore you are the most gentle and the master of the and are the master of the monists. Bhikkha nimantrana chale prabhu sabasthane vyakti kori iha kori yachen apane. As the devotees invited the Lord to take his meal in their houses, the Lord took the opportunity to teach them all this topic. Okay, what's the Lord going to teach everybody? This is the topic that the Lord taught as they were inviting them to their house to take his meal. He said, Bhikkha nimantrane prabhu bolen hasiya, chalo tumi age lakeshwar ho giya. This is famous. When invited to take a meal, the Lord smiled and said, first, you should become a lakeshwar. The word lakeshwar is a combination of a lakh, That means 100,000, and Ishvar, master. It's common usage, in common usage, it would refer to someone who possessed 100,000 rupees. So let's just say like a millionaire. I only take my my meals in the house of millionaires. Tata bika amar je hoy lakeshwar, shuniya brahman sab chintit antar. I take meals only in the house of a lakeshwar. Hearing this, the Brahmins became worried. Vipragan stuti kori bolen goshai, lakher ki dai sahasre ko karonai. The Brahmins offered prayers to the Lord. They said, "Oh Goshai, what to speak of 100,000? None of us possess even 1,000. Tumina korile bika garhastya amar, ekhane pudiya ho. Sorry, ekhane pudiya ho charakar. If you don't accept meals from us, then let our entire households be burnt to ashes." Prabhu bole jano lakeshwar boli kare, pratidin lakhanam je grahana kore. The Lord replied, "Do you know who is a lakeshwar? He is someone who daily chants 100,000 holy names." Gaudiya Bhasha. Haribo Madhusudan Prabhu. Gaudiya Bhasha. Śrī Gaurasundar said, "The Lord is served in the house of only one who daily chants 100,000 names. The Lord accepts items like foodstuffs from only such a person. For one who does not chant 100,000 names, the Lord does not award the good fortune of his service by accepting his offering. All devotees of the Lord must daily chant 100,000 names. Otherwise, they will become attached to varieties of material enjoyment and will be unable to serve the Lord. That is why everyone under the shelter of Śrī Caitanya-dev chants at least 100,000 names. Otherwise, Gaurasundar will not accept the foodstuffs that are offered to him." We were just Shrivas in our daily Chaitanya. What is it? Our weekly. Sorry, I'm starting to get tired. Our weekly Dainik Nadia Prakash program. Shrivas is mentioning how there's one story of Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj when he is Pranavananda Brahmachari. He was so busy. Like we read about it in A Life of Devotion, how busy he was. I mean, the daily magazine, he was in charge of all of that, writing all the articles, collecting everything, then printing. And he would be engaged in all these different services during the day, and he would do his writing at night after everybody had already slept. So because he was so insanely busy, he went to Srila Prabhupada and said, "Prabhupada, I'm having a really, I might be getting it a bit wrong, but this is what I remember Srivas saying. Maybe Shubhananda Prabhu, if you know it better, you can explain it also." But he said, "Prabhupada, I'm unable to finish my Harinam, like I'm unable to complete my chanting of Harinam or something like that, or I'm having a difficulty chanting 1 lakh of Harinam every day because of all these services." And then what did Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada say to him? He said, "Well, then sleep less." He already was sleeping very little, but that was, yeah. With a servant like that who is as dedicated as that, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada could give instructions like that. But for people like us, I think Guru would never give us that kind of instruction because we wouldn't be able to follow their order. Srila Bhakti Puri Goswami Maharaj was. He was a transcendental personality. So, but yeah, even somebody so busy as Srila Bhakti Puri Goswami Maharaj, who none of us can even claim to be close to, not even half, not even a quarter as busy as he was. And he had to chant. There was no concession made even for him for chanting less than 1 lakh, 100,000 names every day. So what to speak of us? I mean, I only chant 16, so I'm not like saying anything. I'm just saying, like, yeah, we have a long way to go. Or at least I do. She janir nama ami boli lakeshwar tata bikha amar na jai anya ghar. I call that person a lakeshwar. I take meals only in such a person's house, not in the houses of others. Shuniya Prabhur Kripa Vakya Vipragane, Chinta Chari Mahananda, Hoila Mane Mane. Hearing this merciful statement of the Lord, the Brahmins gave up their anxiety and became joyful. Lakhanam loibo Prabhu tumi koro vikha, Mahabhagya e mata korao tumi shikha. O Lord, we will chant 100,000 names. Please, therefore, take your meals in our houses. It is our good fortune that you are teaching us in this way. Pratidin lakhanam sarvadvija gane, loyen Chaitanya Chandra bhikkar karani. All the Brahmins then began to chant 100,000 names every day so that they could offer food to Lord Chaitanya Chandra. I remember when I first moved into Keshuvji Gaudiya Math, I heard that the pujari was not supposed to be asked to do any other service because they needed the time to be able to chant 1 lakh of Harinam so that Thakurji would accept their offerings. Although, of course, we know that we offer to Gurudev on our behalf to offer to, but still, especially if you're a pujari and if you want Thakurji to be accepting your service, this is the standard Mahaprabhu set. Eno mate bhakti yoga lawai ishvare, Vaikunta nayaka bhakti sagare vihare. In this way, the Lord of Vaikunta enjoyed in the ocean of devotional service by inducing others to take up the process of devotional service. And that's our reading for today. So we'll continue reading this chapter tomorrow. All right.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, Gopal Ghanasham Prabhu. Hari Bol.
Prabhu, okay, what about the person who's cooking, who's not chanting 1 lakh, and the one who's offering, he's chanting. So what do you say about?
I don't know. I think it refers to both. I think Mahaprabhu wasn't just telling the people who were, distributing the prasadam, but also for the wives of the Brahmins who are cooking, and or the Brahmins themselves. Like, I think he wanted everybody to be chanting 100,000 names. But of course, we like, there are concessions given to us. I mean, at first, Srila Prabhupada, right? He told his disciples to chant, right? And Nidhi Hari Prabhu was explaining this to us before. Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, he at first wanted to have it, like, he told his disciples to chant 1 lakh, because that was the minimum. During Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's time, there wasn't like 32 rounds or 16 rounds. No, the minimum, the standard for everybody was 1 lakh. And so that's what Srila Prabhupada was used to. And so then when he went to the West, he told his disciples to chant 1 lakh. And then he kept on making concessions because they were so busy and they had such a difficult time. And finally, the minimum was like, okay, 16. And after that, that's it. Like, they're not going below 16. But we should understand that's a concession. It's not like the normal thing. The normal thing is to chant 1 lakh. But we're very fortunate that our acharyas are very merciful to us, and we can't offer anything directly to the Lord. The Lord won't accept anything that we directly offer. So at least we can offer to our Srila Gurudev, to Srila Prabhupada, and like, we're assisting him in making the offering to Thakurji. That's why he instructed his disciples at the beginning to, right? When you put the plate of prasad in front of me and chant my pranam mantra, and I'll make the offering, right? So when we do any kind of Thakurji worship, we do it with that mood. But still, we should, the whole reason Mahāprabhu did this whole pastime is to really, like, show us the urgency of coming up to that level of one day chanting 1 lakh Harinam. Otherwise, Mahāprabhu wouldn't perform that pastime. So we should all aspire for that, at least, if we're not able to do that. All right. I just want to make a little announcement right now. Oh, and Sarveshwari Mataji is asking, when are we reading the Dainik Nadia Prakash? So we have every Sunday, Srivas, he shows us the different issues of Dainik Nadia Prakash that he's been reading. Yeah, we're doing it every Sunday now, at the same time that we do Caitanya-bhāgavata readings. So as you all know, this Caitanya-bhāgavata reading, we only have like, we're going to be completely finished with Caitanya-bhāgavata. We're completing it on Śrīla Vrindavan Das Thakur's disappearance day, which is in 9 days. And after that, we're going to start on Dāmodara Paṇḍita's appearance day, which is in exactly 2 weeks from now, 14 days from now. We're going to start this program to go through every single song of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, from Sharanagati, Gitāvali, Kalyana Kalpataru, and Gitamala, and also songs that aren't in any of the songbooks. And so I'm gonna try to write something up today. This morning I was writing a little something. But yeah, where is it? This is what I'm hoping to get out of the program. This is just a rough draft of what I'm writing. I'm going to send out on the Vine of Devotion mailing list. But yeah, this is what I'm thinking, like what I'd really like to get out of this program. Tell me what you all think, if you like this. So in this Bhaktivinoda Thakur Kirtan program, well, right now the schedule, what I'm thinking is, at first we're going to, on May 8th, that's Dāmodara Paṇḍita's appearance day, we're going to first go through all the songs of Sharanagati very quickly so that we can get an overview. We have a bird's eye view of all the songs, and then we'll go back and go through them very slowly. Well, at least 2 songs a day. And this is what I'm hoping. Like, I'm hoping by this program, let's see, that we make a personal connection with Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's songs so that they are no longer something we only sing during bhajans at a program, but they remain our constant companions and guides, that we can always, that we have them with us all the time, that we memorize them. And so then in any situation that comes up, we'll be able to turn to them. And it will deepen that. I'm hoping that this program will deepen our devotional practices, like chanting Harinam when we chant, instead of just making up our own prayers or whatever, but we can meditate on these prayers of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And when we're taking darshan of the deities, we can, sing one of these songs in front of, or even by mind, we can meditate on one of the songs in front of Thakurji. Or when we're honoring Mahaprasad, there's like 6 different songs that he wrote on Mahaprasad, for eating sweets, for eating shak, like that. When we're observing festival days like Akadashi, when we're performing Nagar Sankirtan, there's so many Nagar Kirtans written by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And then he wrote songs based on every verse of Upadeshamrita, Manashiksha, Shikshashtakam, Krishna Namashtak, the Radhikashtak of Raghunath Das Goswami, and so many other verses and prayers like that. So we can go more deep into these teachings of the Goswamis through his songs. And yeah, and I'm hoping that we'll be able to get a good bird's eye view of the way Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur organized his songs across his songbooks, and the beautiful way that they all fit together. Right now, we're familiar with songs like, Narad Muni Bhajai Bina, or, but how it's really nice to see how it fits along with the other songs of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Like Narad Muni Bhajai Bina is a continuation, like it has a certain place. And so you can appreciate it more when you see where it fits in. Like that it's the last verse of Krishna Namashtak. And then we can I'm hoping that we can develop an understanding of the themes within each kirtan, so that you'll always be able to find the most fitting song to turn to for any situation you find yourself in. Because Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur wrote such a wide variety of different types of kirtans, so many different types of topics, every kind of anartha that you could imagine, like, being proud of your beauty, being proud of your knowledge, being lazy, doing this, like that. He wrote a song for it. So, or if you feel that you've offended a Vaishnava, there are a couple songs that he wrote that are like that we can take shelter of. Like for every situation, there's an appropriate song. So I want us all to become familiar with all the songs so that we'll be able to know which songs to turn to in every single situation we find ourselves in. Then also, this is a big one that I really want to know how much everybody's interested in this. But I'd like to learn all the basic Bengali grammar within the kirtans, which will empower you to engage directly. I don't like that wording. I'm going to change that wording. But that will empower you to engage directly with the original text without having to depend on translations. Because so much gets lost in the translation, because it's impossible to fully translate Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's transcendental words. No translation, no matter how much time the translator puts into it, no matter how much effort, can really do the song justice. Nothing can be like the original. So I really want I'm hoping that, eventually people will become more and more familiar with the Bengali grammar so that you can just forget about the translation and just focus on the main text. And when you do that, then it's effortless to memorize the songs. It just comes automatically. You don't need to make any effort to try to memorize the songs. You'll just be able to sing it from memory without, just like when you hear a song repeatedly on the radio, because you understand the meaning of all the words, the song gets stuck in your head. So it's like that when you actually understand the language of the songs. They'll automatically get stuck in your head without any effort. And also, I'd like to go through different melodies so that you can sing all the songs. You can feel confident to lead any of the bhajans of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So those are just the things that are coming to mind, like what I'd really want to get out of this program. But I'm also very interested to hear what everybody else, like what you would like to get out of a program like this. So yeah, I'm going to send this out on the Vine of Devotion mailing list. I need to finish writing the post. And then if you could reply to that email and give me all your ideas and everything, that will help me prepare for this program. But I mean, this program is going to be kind of like our Caitanya-bhāgavata readings. Like I don't really do that much preparation beforehand because my plate's very full. So just, yeah, I wanted to give that little disclaimer. Like I don't want to, but yeah, we'll just kind of come together and spend an hour or an hour and a half together with Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's kirtans. That's basically it. Yeah. And also, if there are, like, when we're going through the songs, if there's a song that especially resonates with you, then you can focus on that one song, and maybe we could try to go through, like, memorize one song that really draws you. Try to memorize one song a month, or maybe one song every 2 months. Try to have it in your memory so that you can have it. It's your possession then. Like, I mean, it will always be with you. Yeah, anyway. All right. Cool. I'm glad Sarveshwari Mataji likes the idea. Cool. Vidyalala Sadidi is very keen on learning the Bengali grammar. Great. Yeah, it really changes everything, actually. And it's easy because you see the same thing. Bengali grammar isn't that difficult. And you see the same thing over and over and over again in all the songs. And so then every time you read these Caitanya-bhāgavata verses, when you read any songs, you start to recognize, oh, okay, this is future tense. Oh, this is that. And yeah, it's very motivating. That's what happened when I was in Gurukul. There's a devotee from England named Mahāprabhu, and he just went through all the basic verb tenses and showed us the verb tenses in the kirtans. And from that point on, all the kirtans became so much more exciting because I'm like, oh my God, I know what I'm saying now. And yeah, that my enthusiasm for kirtan really started to grow because of that. So I'm hoping to be able to do that with all of you also, if you're interested. All right, Haribo, Dandavat pranams. Oh, I'll do a quick kirtan and then we'll end. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Jai Shri Guru Gauranga Gandharvika Giridhari, Shri Radha Vinod Bihari Ju ki jai, Shri Govinda Gopinath Maran Mohan Ju ki jai, Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupad, Ashruta Rashita Shishmar Bhakti Vedanta, Narayan Gosai Maharaj Shri Guru Dev ki jai, Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupad, Ashruta Rashita Shishmar Shri Bhakti Vedanta Vaman Gosai Maharaj ki jai, Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupad, Ashruta Rashita Shishmar Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupad, Ashruta Rashita Shishmar Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Gosai Maharaj ki jai, Nitya Pravishtam Vishnupara Shutara Shutashman Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Gosai Prabhupada ki jai, Nitya Pravishta Maha Bhagavat Shila Gokshara Swavaji Maharaj ki jai, Nitya Pravishta Shila Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki jai, Nitya Pravishta Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Shila Jagannath Das Swavaji Maharaj ki jai, Śrī Rūpānuga Gaudiya Guru Varga ki jai, Śrī Rup Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath, Śrī Jeev Gopal Bhatta Dasa Gunath, Śrāda Gosai Prabhu ki jai, Śrī Sarup Dāmodara Rai Ramanantari, Śrī Gaur Parshad Vrinda ki jai, Namacharya Śrīla Haridas Thakur ki jai, Prem se kaho Śrī Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Śrī Advaita Gadadhar, Śrī Vasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Śrī Kshetra Mandal, Gaura Mandala, Vraja Mandala, Mathura Vrindavan Dham ki jai, Sarva Abhishta Pradata Giriraj Maharaj ki jai, Śrī Radha Kunda Shama Kunda ki jai, Śrī Yamuna Devi Ganga Devi ki jai, Śrī Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi ki jai, Śrī Bhakti Devi ki jai, Śrī Purnamasi Yoga Maya ki jai, Śrī Gopeshwar Mahadev ki jai, Śrī Harinam Sankirtan ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Samagata Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Śrī Caitanya-bhāgavata ki jai, Śrīla Vrindavan Das Thakur ki jai, the Gaudiya Bhashya of Śrīla Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki jai, Mahāprabhu is taking prasad in the house of Advaita Acharya ki jai, Shri Advaita Acharya's wife Sita Thakurani and Shri Devi, right? Ki jai. Jai Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Samagata Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Shri Dāmodara Paṇḍita ki jai. Shri Śacī Mata ki jai. What is it? Murti Mati Bhakti Śacī Mata ki jai. Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Vrindai Tulsi Devai, Priyai Keshavashacha, Krishna Bhakti Pradadevi, Sattvatai Namo, Vancha Kalpataru Kascha, Kripa Sindhu Bhyayevacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Dandavat pranams, Nari Hari Prabhu and Bhavatarani Mataji. Well, everybody on Zoom disappeared. Anyways, and let's see on YouTube and Facebook. Raseshwari Mataji, Sarveshwari Mataji, Rasapriya Didi, Amit Dandekar, Vangshiwala Prabhu, Vidyalala Sadidi, Madhusudan Prabhu. Yes, and all other devotees. I see there's a bunch of other devotees. I only see your name if you write a comment though, so I'm not ignoring you, just letting you know. Yes, Vidyalala Sadidi, that's true. It does. It sticks to memory better when we understand the meaning of the shlokas and kirtans, for sure. It's the easiest way to memorize. It's just to know what you're saying. And just looking at the word for word, I mean, it's better than nothing, but actually understanding why the words are formed in this way, like why does it look like this? And you start to become familiar with the grammar. Knowing the grammar is really helpful. There's really nice quotes of Srila Gaura Goswami Maharaj, like on him emphasizing that we learn the language of Chaitanya Charitamrita, because you can't understand it just through an English translation. The English language can't capture the beauty of Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami's writing. It's like you can't really get the rest. And Srila Gaura Goswami Maharaj gives some really nice examples. Maybe I can share that with everybody sometime. Anyhow, all right. Thank you so much for joining, and look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. Hari Bo Jai Shri Radhe.